Nope. Hi, hello everyone. Um, all right, so let's start this journey. Let me see. So I just want to hear confirmation that everybody can hear me. So, all right, I think perfect. All right, so let's begin. So, exciting times, right? Let's do the YAMA. So it's the end of February, so we have a lot of updates. But I know the elephant in the room goes into what happened yesterday with the BKN. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a perspective. And then I'm gonna jump into just talking about where we are as a company and what's happening with the BKN. And then later, I'm gonna go and drop some of the questions that the community passed by. But also feel free at any time to drop a question in the Telegram or the Twitter, and then anyone from my team will pass it by because I'm just in another platform. Just so you know, I'm not reading Telegram, so because if not, I have a little bit of a mess. Either way, all right. So yesterday, what happened yesterday? Actually, it's quite amazing, man. Now, looking at it from this side of things, I can't even explain it, right? Because I mean, you have to understand the pressure that it is on the team when the unlock happens, right? We had the community route; it was spread through three big cliffs. I think the total amount that was from the WBN to BKN was counting the advisory and the airdrops, because that's actually counted in the full amount, even though we sold 25 million WBKS, counting advisory and airdrop, I think it amounted total to 28 million, right? And obviously that was released at the day of listing, the airdrop, and well, because it was airdrop. But the rest, advisories and WBKN, was on three tranches. First tranche was at 6 months after, 12 months after, and 18 months after. And then obviously we also had the public round one and two. So that was 12 months from listing, vested, linear, and 18 months, right? So for a problem, for a project, and I'm talking as a founder, right? Because this is something that I believe it's very, very interesting for you guys to know. Like, you have to really build faster than your vesting goes, because obviously there's an inflation rate, right? I mean, it's like money. The more money or the more tokens are out there, the harder it is for it to rise. So you have to be super fast at building or making marketing or whatever, because you need to go against your inflation. So the more tokens get into the market, the harder it can be for a project to offset the selling pressure. Because obviously, if you're doing good, then your investment at the beginning just multiplies. And that is a lot of pressure, right? So we've seen projects who fail. I'm not gonna say because of the project itself. It can be because of the tokenomics. It can be because of the community. It can be because of luck. It could be because the narrative is not there. It could be so many variables, which is then what you enter into. There's so many variables at failing that it's impossible for a project to have everything in order, right? So you have to fight absolutely every single condition, the market, the inflation, the vesting. Some investors may be getting mad, so the funding, the like it's ridiculous, right? I mean, you have no clue really how hard it is for a founder. So as I am an investor and I have lost money in some ICOs, and I always send them an email and say, hey, that's it, fair game. Go to the next one, and maybe the next one will happen, because sometimes we don't understand what fully comes when the project on the other end is making the work. So this is a shout out to all the builders out there, because they do they do deserve a lot of respect, and that's what I'm trying to go here. On our end, I believe that we're one of the lucky, and I'm going to say lucky because it's a lot of variables, right? So it's sometimes you can be the hardest working, the best technology, the best with the clientele, but in the crypto world, some things don't have to make sense. So that's why memes work, because they're absolutely ridiculous. They don't make sense. It's pure gambling. It's pure agency, right? and the fundamentals sometimes are not there. And we have to talk about this cycle. I mean, Brickken, we launched our ICO in 2021, but we didn't list the bull run. So the bull run was 2020, early 2021, then it started fading out. We were racing during the fading out version and we got stuck because the bear market hit. And then we took the rough decision and say, hey, like the market is horrible. And you guys already know this. Some newcomers don't know all this story, but we've been with our community from 2021. And it's super important to understand the basics of what happened yesterday because I'm telling you something that hopefully it's entertaining, but also foundational because now we're all stuck in the same way. Like everybody, now it's even. The market is even. There's no more logs, there's no more ICO buyers. We're all Rickens in the same level of absolutely everything. There's no nothing. There's no prerogatives. There's no nothing. Everything is even. Now the market will dictate the true worth of us. So in 2021, we built this on the bear market, and it was very hard for us to log. You have no clue sometimes what happens in the back because when you don't want to list because you make an effort to say like, hey, I'm confident that if I list right now, I'm gonna die. Well, you'd have to take a conclusion that maybe it's not the best thing, and that amounts to literally, some of the messages that I received personally and maybe some of my teams that were shared, they were like quite ridiculous. Like I'm not gonna even gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. They were even death threats, and it's like, what's up with this? Like I'm not. We're talking about money, and it's fine. But I mean, if you invest money, you have to understand that sometimes it can be good or it can be bad. But in reality, it's still money. I mean, we have to still have the foundation of us being humans, and that's it. Like let's not forget and let's not get lost in all of that. So 2021 was horribly hard. And then 2022 come, and then we had to not list for a full year. So we still had to gather the community and say, like, hey, keep trusting us. And that's very hard to do. And that is one of the main reasons why I always stay there in the chat because I was the one delaying alongside the team, but somebody has to take responsibility of the actions, and nobody can take more responsibility of actions than the company than the CEO of the company itself. So that's why during all these years, I've been actually very proactive in the community because if I'm telling you something, it's not that we're hiding and everything. We're actually just believing in our project and believing in our decisions. But we have to take into consideration that we understand that the other side of the perspective of the coin is that they don't know what's happening. Are we building? Are we lying? Are we doing all of these things? And that's fair. It's fair game as long as it stays at that fairness level. I invest in a project and money it's a thing, it's an asset. It's not something else, right? So 2022 we did it. 2023 we decided to list. Again, we decided to not list at the. It was still horrible, but the pressure amounted so much that it started becoming a boiler room. And now, obviously, the flooding became bigger. The nasty messages became absolutely ridiculous. And we had to list. And it's like, okay, no matter what we do, this has to be done, right? So we took a leap of faith and we listed. Our listed, now I can talk openly. It was horrible. We knew that. The bear market, there was no liquidity. There were not enough players out there. The sexes were absolutely horrible in the conditions that they wanted to list. Some were just obtaining the listing, getting the fees, dumping on the projects. We all know that. Now it's coming up to light all the sex games, and that's fine. You go to Twitter, a lot of people are becoming transparent about all of the things that happen in crypto, and you have to stay maybe silent because you're in the game. So sometimes you cannot be too outspoken. So yeah, there's a lot of ridiculous out there, and hopefully soon enough, I am gonna be a little bit more transparent about that because it's an unfair game, right? But still, us in Brickken, we wanted to be fair and we wanted to do the absolute best because you guys invested in us, and that's a hurdle because we have never taken a single euro and ill play it, and that's something that we have always been saying. Like you guys invested in us, we have to return at least that through hard work. We're gonna do our best. We can't promise anything because that will be something that we cannot do. So we have to at least prove our worth, right? So we listed, and the first unlocks started happening. Rough months. We started working harder. December, we did our first uptake. I remember we went from started call from 12 cents to 58 cents. So that's a 5x run. Uh, Miraculously, hard work, luck. Sometimes it's an added value of everything. Sometimes you have 100 variables and 80 variables making enough for you to do that. And that was the great thing because suddenly we were like, okay, so now we're capable of more. So that was a challenge against us. The community got bigger, the challenges got bigger. Then obviously the first unlocks happened, February 25th, 2024. And what happens with any unlock? You get a dump. It's normal. You got all these investors in the back, they're profitable in the market, and they get to decide freely what they want to do. It's a free market. Entry and leaving is a free market once you have the asset at your hand. So we dumped. It's fine. We went from, I think at the end, from the 58 round, we started consolidating around 30 cents, and then we went into, I believe, 10 cents or even 9 maybe. And then a couple of weeks later, with the March Madness, we're gonna call it the March Madness just to put a name, and then that's it. We're gonna call it the March Madness. And we went from we went from 15 cents to 1.38 cents, and that was absolutely ridiculous. Those green candles were like, whoa, what's happening? Like you have no idea how happy we were as a team because more than actually just that the community was happy, like sometimes as a team, just being able to enjoy that and say like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna sit back, open a beer, and enjoy the ride. Like sometimes that's just pure absolute pleasure, right? So we went into the known world, right? Because that opened. You have at the time, I don't know, maybe 10,000 coins, 100,000, because now we're going to talk about how many millions of tokens are being created, right? We have millions now. So at the time, we were like, okay, so we started getting visualizations. Actually, going to be transparent with you, that is one of the reasons why it opened a lot of the institutional doors, because that action was absolutely ridiculous. There's so many projects that don't do it. We see the projects that they do it. We have to comprehend the amount of tokens that don't do it that you have never even heard about, right? So because we only hear about the good news. This is kind of like if you're in Twitter, nobody talks to you about the average, like the one that pops and dies. They talk about like the greatest hits or the greatest rocks. But either one, you're one of the greatest. So we became one of the greatest hits and that opened a massive door. I was in Dubai at the time when it started, like all the run, and I can tell you, I have never had so many open conversations because suddenly we're like, "Oh, you guys are one of those, the RWA company. How you guys doing?" Because it was becoming a narrative. It was not a solidified narrative; it was a becoming narrative, and we were one of the ones that we were actually doing something. Not only our token was performing, but when people started talking to us, we had the amazing technology, we had amazing knowledge, we had amazing partners, we had a lot of length. So it started averaging our pricing and our company, right? So that's the beauty of it. We were started becoming parallel. But crypto is horrible in the sense that you can do all this greatness and suddenly starts fading out. So the 130 became 70, the 70 became 50, 50 became to 70, 70 become 20, and then we went to the next unlock, July 25th, 2024. Again, went dumped. 10 cents, fair game, happens. And we had to rebuild. And we were like, okay, we went through one, we understand the second unlock, how we have to treat it. We started pushing a lot of marketing. A lot of community asked us, are we doing marketing? Yeah, marketing never stops. To the point that we were two, we started becoming three, three with some outsourcing help, four, five. So marketing is always one of the fundamental departments in Brickken, right? Because we are in the crypto game. Marketing is essential for any company. If you don't have marketing, you don't have a company. So whoever does the marketing of the team or the capability, they have to make sure that if there was no marketing, there will never be new holders, or there will never be new opportunities or new clients, because it is through marketing that you absolutely nail absolutely everything. You generate leads, beacon holders, or clients for the tokenization, or securing of partners, because through marketing you become a brand, right? And the brand is the most powerful thing that a company can have, because you can have the shittiest tech and the best brand, and you can be the most successful company. You can have the best tech, zero marketing, and you will die as a company. So yes, marketing for us is radically one of the most important pillars in the company, and we spend a lot. When I say a lot, I'm not gonna show figures because that's not the point, but trust us that there's a lot of money being flowed into marketing, right? So the unlock happens, but we already did a huge run. So people started believing in us because we wanted to prove them that, hey, like we did a run, but it was not luck because we are the company who actually secured partnerships with the clients of Big Four, PricewaterhouseCoopers, yes, Circle, yes. We went to the European sandbox, yes. We're tokenizing millions of euros now. Yes, we have now a ridiculous amount of clients. You're seeing an uptick in clients, and I'm going to speak a little bit about the client thing because it's important for all of you to understand what is happening behind doors. So then we go through that. Perfect. Boom. Then we started going on an uptick again. The 10 cents became 15, 15 became 20, 30, 40, 50. We hit another 60, and then we started going down. And I think it has to do also with the market conditions that why we started going down. There was a lot of trust in us. There was so much trust that in the back, I was signing millions of euros to be flooded into the company because we got funded by VCs. The institutional say like, okay, these guys have everything I like out of the 1,000 decks that I receive, I'm going to invest in this one because now you have to understand the power that the institutional brought us. And it's trust and it's validation because those guys don't invest just because you ask for money. They invest because they think you're the best. And that's the only thing why you would invest, right? You guys are investing in Brickken because out of the RWA narrative, you feel confident that this is going to be a return of investment. Now, at the VC level, they don't have 100 opportunities. They have maybe 10 per year and they decide where they want to put their money. So for them, it's a matter of a lot more due diligence. They inspect the company upside down, they flip you, and then they want to see how much you are really worth. So 2.5 billion and a 20 million valuation is a very nice thing. So I want to put that into perspective. Now, market conditions change, and it was also because I believe in starting in November, maybe even October, people started talking about the unlock that was happening, right? And people were fearful because on the past two big unlocks, we went from a big trend into a more bottom one, hitting 10 cents. And it was fair. And it was like, you know what? The team here was also prepared for that. It was like, okay, if the trend happens again, no matter what we do, we're gonna start hitting the low tens because we have to be ready. And I'm gonna explain you what was the plan because it's always a plan because it's one of the community questions. And now we go into the point that is the most valuable. So I built up all of this for half an hour, sorry, because I wanted to bring background into what happened and understand you how difficult it has been for us. The journey of 4 years since the moment of September 1, 2021, when we opened the first investment. And I remember by heart, and they already know, I probably still talk to many of those, my first five investors. Actually, I actually consider more of acquaintance because they invested in us, the first believers. And I still remember what was the feeling of people investment and the overwhelming feeling because suddenly you're like, okay, so they're trusting you. Like this person who doesn't know anything about us is trusting that our token is gonna go. And that's September 2021. And right now we are 4 years later into the game, like a lot of things have changed. We went from the desert, we walked it, we started talking about security token offerings when nobody was talking about security token offerings. We were talking about how easy it could be for financial instruments to be embedded on chain. Nobody understood that, nobody cared. Actually, a lot of the players out there right now have pivoted from different perspectives and verticals, and they started jumping into the RWA community because they saw it trending. So we are way past that. Like I'm so happy that they do that because they don't even know where they're stepping in. We were here before and we were already navigating and educating the whole market, chilling with the regulators, building on top of that, making great partners. So we have the foundation and the fundamentals for us to succeed. Other players are just jumping in because of pure narrative, and that's just sad because you have to make sure that you have and you go and fulfill your goals based on what you're the best at, not because you wanna get greedy at. So this is a fair game, and let's see how those goes. Now, as I said on the January, I'm gonna be more aggressive into the market because now it's a matter of us taking over, and that's it. And now I'm gonna talk about more about what happens because this unlock marks everything. We were waiting for this moment for a lot of months. We have been preparing because this is what we do, right? I mean, you guys know that We don't take decisions lightly. We don't take decisions hastily. We take decisions based on data. And we make sure that when we take a decision, we fully back it up. This is what we do. So, unlock yesterday happens, and what happens? A couple of days ago, we started hitting 18 cents, and we were like, okay, get ready, guys. This is the incoming dump or incoming selling, whatever you want to call it. And somebody pushed us up. It was not us. All right, gonna be super blunt, and I'm gonna say where we were because it's fair game. And suddenly started 20, 21, 22. Couple of days ago, 2 days ago, I stopped sleeping and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this graph, gonna check all the wallets, gonna check my Doom, gonna check my protocols, gonna check everything because we have to get ready. We cannot be just waiting on the silence, waiting for miracles to happen because we've been planning for this for so many long, for so months. We have invested so much manpower that if you transform manpower, I can tell you that we have invested so many thousand of euros just for this moment, right? Because even though we might not have invested on things you see, we invest in people, and those people actually cost us a lot of money because this is salaries being paid, and this is in opportunities. And if you don't focus on something, it's because you're focusing on this. We were focusing on the token for quite some time, right? So yesterday, the unlock happened. There's one person that, and I think I told you that community, or I told some members. So now I'm going to tell you what happened. We went around and started talking to a lot of the Bolt 3 people because on the first Bolt 2, there were around 20 million that were unlocked, and there was too many investors, too many variables, right? And too many situations that we were not going to be able to control. But this unlock was 4.8 million BKNs, which amounts to, let's say, more than a little bit than €1 million or $1 million. And basically, um, the next step is we went and talked to the biggest holders, right? And I want to tell you one story because I think if that person is here, I want to tell you that thank you for that. It meant a lot. So we went to the 10 biggest holders. I personally went to the biggest 10 holders and I sent them an email. I was like, hey, you want to chat? And the conversation was as follows. I was like, you know what? I really don't care if you're going to sell. It is your asset. I'm not going to enter into your treasury. You already invested in me. But as this could be the conclusion of our relationship, I would like to take a lot of consideration as to what you think about Brickken. Are you gonna sell? You want to stay? You want me to look into an exit for you so you don't go into the market at once? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here, but the first of all is for me to get to know you more or at least catch up. And nine out of ten, 9 out of 10 holders said they were gonna go to staking. And you gotta understand the value of that. Like you have your 10 biggest holders of both three who have the possibility of creating a nice income, turning into stable coins, which can later be transferred to Euro, USD. And they said, no, I'm going to go to stake it because I don't want to sell. And I was like, okay, so now I want to understand why. And the conception about it is that they believe that more than we are a token, we are a company. So the generalized perception of these stakeholders that have been with us for the longest time, and they have a valuable treasury now because they invested at 0.008, but on both three, they could have got 40% more. That means that if you had 100K BKNs through both three, meaning you hold your position for 18 months, you could get out 140K BKNs. Guys, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. And that money can make a lot of certain changes in somebody's personal life, right? I mean, you can, I don't know, pay part of a flat or go out, have a great dinner with your friends or girlfriend. I mean, this, I don't know, happiness. I'm not saying money is happiness, but goddamn, if you have that and you have a win, sometimes you will take it. But these 9 persons decided not to sell. Some of them even introduced me to some family members, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to be help here. I want to do that." Other people started telling me, "You know what? I'm gonna tell you like how it's been on my side and everything." So it became very familiar, and I was like, "This is awkward in a good way, kind of like I was not expecting that because I came to do business and I wanted to be kind of like give you the authority that whatever you do, please feel free. This is just a conversation, nothing else, and that's why I'm asking and requesting time from you." And that happened. So the 10, I started skipping and then I jumped into other because I need to analyze that. I wanted to know if if it was just the nine biggest holders who thought the same, or it was grabbed that. So I went to five other random. The five random I picked, they were staying, and then I went into another extra five. Then two decided not to stay. So it's like, okay, so my average out of this mini data scale is like four people out of 20, two of the one of the biggest holders and two, sorry, and three of my data was two others were not gonna dump. They all went to staking. So I was like, and I communicated obviously all to the team, and basically that is ridiculous. So I cannot tell you and explain you how much happiness that brought us, because sometimes like when you're building you get all of this success outside, but just the fact that people keep trusting you, because obviously your client trusts you but you're providing a service. Your employees trust managers because they trust the company and the vision. Managers trust between each other, and then for me, kind of like I gotta be more humane here. I mean, that trust from the investor saying, hey, like we trust the project. That means that we're doing great as a company, as a team, and as a community. Because that's kind of like we have more variables than we thought. And that happens, right? So that was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. I was like, wow, I never thought you never like when you started in 2021 and you got that first euro in your crypto wallet, your bank account, and then suddenly 4 years later, those people, that money already got multiplied and they're still here. And I'm not saying the both one, two, three, or the beginners are less than the both three or there's less loyal. I'm just feeling that over this journey, I think we have one of the best communities. And I'm gonna double down on this, and then I'm gonna show my community to all of you, because now this is kind of like agreement on my head, right? Because now I don't have to worry about unlocks or anything. Now this is free market, and I want to test it. Oh, I'm going to test it with all of you, because this is what happens when people trust you, right? You feel more powerful, right? Because you decide that first of all, our 2024 is flawless. Like we keep building and you don't get to see it as a third perspective, right? And that's hard to do. Like you stick your mind to it and you start building, and your team starts building and starts creating and starts innovating, starts flowing, and you don't get to see that. And our 2024 is flawless. We literally went and bought and tokenized more than 200. We have a pipeline of at least 1 billion, and it's ridiculous how much we're growing, how many clients are jumping on board. And that's kind of like why lately you've been seeing that every week we send a new tokenization, because many of the clients that we sign today, they don't launch tomorrow. It takes them a time. So this is what, what you guys gonna be seeing soon, because if we go to this trend, the clients that we're launching, they've been signed months ago. Months ago, we were growing. By the 6 months from now, the amount of clients that if you understood how many clients we're signing now, and if we take into perspective that they take a little bit longer, we're trying to narrow that to help them to go faster into market, because we're also learning. This is a new market. Now we're gonna flood. We're gonna start flooding the market with clients, because a lot of the clients we're signing now, if they take some time, maybe in the AMA October, you guys are gonna be like, "What happened with those 100 tokenization?" I was like, "100 guys, watch out! 100? No, no, this is not 100 clients anymore. We're gonna go into hundreds, and next year thousands, because we're scaling, right? This is something that I wanted to communicate with you guys, because this is something that you guys understand a lot of our things, and we're not transparent because obviously we cannot disclose the clients. There's a lot of legality. They're building up their own things, and we're just signing clients now. And I mean, we have to amplify our sales team just because we cannot keep up with how many leads we're generating and potential clients. We had to grow marketing team because we need to go faster and harder. So I really wanted to communicate that, because the end conclusion of everything is that through the unlock that happened is that you guys provided us something that you guys don't even understand what it is. And it's trust. And yesterday the whole company was in a different vibe, because we're like, this is kind of like the only thing that we had kind of like pressuring us, kind of like, oh, it's happening. Kind of like, we need to be ready for this. How is this going to affect the companies? The treasury is going to be affected. Why I'm saying the treasury? It's because we raised 2.5 million. What does that mean? That maybe, let's say, that part of it was actually on supporting certain prices because we're not stupid. We have to rebuy into the market because this is what we do. We're a company. We trust our own asset. So we did have some things out there, but they weren't even just because the community itself rebought the fall. So I'm not saying that we don't do rebuys. Obviously, we protect our interests. We have to make sure that we're working with the best, understanding how the listings are going to happen, when are they going to happen. All of this has already been written down. I'm a lawyer. I wrote this down. I have agreements out there in place for absolutely everything that is going to come up soon. So what I wanted to say is from the unlock, 4.8 million, if am adding the metric today, 82% of everything that has been unlocked, which is almost a 3 million, have gone to staking. And this is why I wanted to showcase that we do believe in data because I talked to 10 first-time holders. One said that they was going to sell, the eight others were not going to sell. And then in random other 10 persons, two said they're going to sell. So that amounts to three. And it turns out that all the unlocking that is happening, 82%, so that means 8 out of 10 approximately, are going to staking. So we were already prepared for all of this. It just validated our assumption and it understands that we know more about the market and our community than a lot of players. And this is beautiful because now we can make more assumptions as to how we can penetrate more market or gain more exposure or gain more holders. So just so you guys understand, I am a big follower of RWA tokens and I'm going to give a shout out. In this lately year, I do follow a lot trends, get a lot of information in the back end because I like to, information is key, information is value. And a couple of months ago, you can go to news probably on Twitter. There was the unlock of Ondo, one of the biggest unlocks of out there, Ondo, right? Huge RWA, bunch of respect for what they're building. Now they're creating the blockchain. Definitely gonna talk to them. Definitely already had chats with them. So the thing is, I was impressed about like these guys unlocked, and at the unlock they pumped, and I was like, that's ridiculous. How do you guys do that? Because like the mathematical, the theoretical assumption is that when you unlock, people sell, and it takes a little bit of time to rebuild because that's kind of like the theory. Like you have a selling pressure, and it has to adapt. And I was like, these guys did it. Absolute respect for the fellow founders and whoever is managing the whole scope. So yesterday, what happened? Us in a ridiculous market because Bitcoin decided to dump from the 90s to the 80s. It went from the 2.67 range to 2.4, and now it's 2.3. Not only we were fighting against a big market inception, post days of Bybit getting hacked, bunch of ETH in in the hands of North Korean Lazarus Group. Like you have all of these great variables to build a movie. Like we were fighting against market hacks, market maker manipulations, because now it's known that the SECs are doing some weird things because of all of this hack and all of this movement of liquidity. And in the back, you have to trust that yes, the big institutions, BlackRock, Vanguard, all of them buying ETH. And we're like, and us, we have our own luck. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have so many variables out there that you have to really preemptively say, like, this is a very risky day to do this. We have to do it because obviously it's automated. We couldn't even stop. So, and we didn't even want to because we had to get over it. So it happened. And the amazing, and one of the things that whatever happens later in Brickken, I'm always going to stay with this story is the day that we had the last unlock, we pumped on the worst days of 2025 so far. In the how many days we have, maybe 58, 60. Our community decided that we were worth it. Not only they doubled down the holders by going into stake and both three, a bunch of holders of you started buying. And I am aware of many holders because as I had conversations with OU, I had conversations with holders who wanted to buy and they couldn't buy. They're waiting for it to drop and it's not dropping. Maybe it's gonna drop because market keeps dumping and it's gonna do the crazy things. But it don't matter anymore, guys, because we're gonna make it. As simple as that. The data, if I believe in that as much as I do and this company does, data validates us. We're here for the long term. we don't have any more selling pressure. It's gone. You guys worry about the team. Don't worry about that. You guys say like, oh yeah, we're gonna. Don't worry about that. Seriously. Well, the only thing you have to worry is that we're excited. We're excited. Why would we go next year and don't for you? Like it makes no sense. This is what we do. This is our life. We have committed to this. So we are absolutely grateful for the opportunity to be building in one of the biggest narratives to be in the future. We're tokenizing, we're changing financial instrument, we're changing perception as to how money should flow in capital, money, how companies can get new opportunities for capitalization. We're blending everything. This is the new game. And we're part of it. Like, why would we risk absolutely anything to be out of this game? Like, if I don't do this, I don't know where I would be. I don't know what would be, or many of my things. They would like, where would we start again? Like, what would be the point zero when we already tested all of this revolution and we're part of the evolution, right? So this is kind of like this is where we become free. So a little bit of a long talk, wanted to be super personal because you guys are personal with me. You guys trust me. So this is me telling you the transparency that thanks to all of you, I don't believe that Brickken can be in a better position. The market will dictate our price. All of you can freely decide today, assets I'm selling, I'm changing or not. But so far, I believe that the full community is behind us. Now, if you go to other chats, and I strongly suggest you do, because it's important that you validate what I'm saying and then say how risky is getting in some chats. I have fellow founders who are getting up to the neck just because they're not flowing with the BTC. When these drops are happening, alts are suffering like crazy. We're talking about Solana, fifth biggest altcoin. A drop right now is, I think, at minus 40%. And that's a major altcoin. And Brickken decided to do minus 25% the last 30 days, right? So, or minus 30, depends on where it is right now. I'm not following because I'm talking to all of you. So we're even better, at least on the selling pressure or the drop down than some major altcoins. If you go to coin market cap today, and please do, go into category real world assets and see what token of all the RWAs is performing as we do the last 30 days. I challenge you. Like this is it. This is our letter to the world. I told you that on this year we're gonna rock it. And you guys prove it. Like you guys are fully supporting that you trust that we are gonna rock it. And how we're gonna rock it is super simple. Yeah, and in reality, it's super simple. We just have to do the same thing we did in 2024, better and faster. Because now we know, we learn. Like training makes the master, right? So in reality, now this is the point where I tell you that, yeah, it's recorded, and I'm gonna say it. We're gonna go to the moon. There's no way back. Yeah, Sec, go chase me. I said it. Oh, the FOMO. Because I trust the company more than anything. I trust my team and I trust the community. I don't need anything else to make it. We have the capital, we have the institutional trust, we have the BKN trust, and this is how it's gonna happen. We are about to launch a huge partnership with a new L. I'm not gonna say it because then it's gonna be marketing. I don't want to get too excited. An announcement is gonna come up. We're partnering up with a bunch of chains. They love our white label. Why? Because BNB decided to make us the official tokenization provider. Other chains are saying, why they already did the due diligence. These guys rock. They see our tech and they're like, I didn't even know that was possible. Today I had a conversation with somebody who was inviting us to a project, and everything they wanted as a project, we already had. And they're like, it's already done. We already have it. And they're like, no, it's impossible. It's like, no, let me show you. And they were like, I like, how did you guys do it? Because people are thinking what we already solved. Super simple. Because we started analyzing the market in 2018, 19 became an idea. In 2020, we wake up the startup. 21, we started raising, and we started constructing buildings since years ago. We are ahead of the curve, and we're not only ahead of the curve. Just we have the money, we have the backers, we have the presence, we have the partners, we have the clients. We're not just ahead of the curve on one single pillar. We're ahead of the curve in a bunch of pillars. So that's why we're partnered up like crazy. Yeah, we're talking to a lot of great players and now some big players in Web3, in Web2, because as much as you guys now I talk a little bit in Web3, our team is more than capable of putting on a suit and go and talk to the TradFi guys because we already were there. But put me a t-shirt and we go talk to the Web3 guys. And I think it's ready as well. We are the perfect blend. We are a new type of company. We're the hybrid. We're what every company wants to be. They want to play Web3. Web2 guys, they fail. They don't know how to launch a token. They don't know how to handle a community. Web3 wants to go to Web2. They don't even know what a TradFi talks or what are they doing or how to do regulations and compliance and certificates and talk to them. We do. We're the best of the two worlds. And I'm strongly saying that. So not only are we having great partners and a great partnership with the blockchain, it's gonna go, yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna shoot top 10 blockchain. It's way less, it's way better, but for the sake of marketing and not ruining every plan that we have, I'm gonna say it. So top 10, and it's way less, it's way more, it's way better. And of course, now the elephant on the room, we're gonna talk about it. Of course, listing. Yes, of course it's gonna happen, guys. I didn't want to list. I committed myself not to list because of the unlock. I didn't want the listing to be liquidity exit for my investors, for all of you. So seriously, when I said that the listing was a bad thing, I always said it. I started following secondary listings in November, December. All of them right now are below that point in December. Why? Because the listing has to be performed exceptionally well to be floated. You guys, I truly believe that you guys want the best and believe that the listing is the best. This is not 2021. The game has changed. In 2021, you had 10,000 tokens. I remember when we did the white paper for Brickken, we analyzed how many tokens, and that way we didn't even have ChatGPT. At the point, we had to go to CoinMaker, CoinMarketCap, we had to go to a bunch of sources that tell us approximately how many tokens were there. And I think the number is in our white paper still. And I think we amounted to 6,500, something like that. 6,500 in 2021 when we drafted the white paper of Bricket. Today, there's a million. The game of the listing is not the same. What worked not necessarily works again. Listing is full of liquidity. And I can pass you a lot of files as to every single token that has listed on Binance, it's at minus 80% because the listing is a liquidity opportunity. It pumps and you dump. I've done it. I do it. It's basic. It's an opportunity, but it can be played very well if you know when to play it. Now, it's a moment of taking into consideration that the selling is out, that the true trust is between us. All of you want to make money. I'm not saying die with the BKN. Don't be Sailor who's gonna die with his BTC crypto key. Don't. I'm not saying that. It's not a cult. This is a business, and you guys want to make money, of course. And who wants to make money is also the business because the more money we make, the more money we can, the more employees, the more marketing, the more everything. So it's also an investment from the team. So if you trust us till this point, do trust that we are going to list at the right time. And maybe we'll fail. But even if we do, we're so capable of we're playing this game correctly that we're going to overcome it and become better. And then we'll try again. I see that a lot of projects who have listed massively, the projects are dying. They have liquidity is so fragmented, and when liquidity is so expensive that they don't know what to do. They're even delisting. There's projects that right now are delisting from listing prices. It's a scary world out there. And then BTC is doing these crazy things. And they're saying when it's out season. But we have all the keys right now to enjoy the out season. We've never enjoyed an out season. We've been building through bear market. We were born at the bear market. We survived the bear market. And now we don't have absolutely no more locks. This is amazing. We don't have everybody's at the same terms. Everybody's playing the same game. The market will dictate ourselves. So uh, I think this is a great opportunity. It's a massive opportunity and one that we've been waiting for so long. So now we're going to be extra aggressive. And what does that mean? Yes, we already have a lot of budgeting to spend on marketing. We didn't want to overplay the card because yesterday was the last unknown variable. Now all the information is out there. We know how many holders are in Ethereum, how many holders are in BNB. We know everything. All information is even. It's symmetric information. You have the same information as us, and we have the same information of you. This is symmetry because now it's a public market. There's no more vestings. There's no more weird sellers out there. Everybody can go into a staking contract and review if they on stake. Everybody can do that. It's blockchain. It's transparent, and obviously we're ready for that because now the uncertainty and unbearables of certain things that we cannot control. I couldn't control yesterday what was going to happen. Nobody in the team would. We were going to help. We were going to make sure that the company didn't suffer as much, but we were going to make it. We had no doubt there. But what happened yesterday absolutely blew our minds. We were like, this is us. It could have been super horrible and super hard, and today would have been us waking up at 5 a.m. working twice as hard. Yesterday, it went beautiful well, and we have to enjoy that. So that's kind of like those wins will never be taken out of our memory. And as such, we have to always remember that the journey has been hard. We're going to be harder, but I just want BTC to behave a little bit, not even go to all-time high. Just behave a little bit so the market stabilizes. Because I have zero doubt that when it does, BKN is going to be off the roof. There's a lot of projects who are still blocking their vestings. You have no idea how many projects I know that have not even listed yet. They're scared of the market. Those are dead because the market it's overrun by memes, it's overrun by celebrity tokens, by political tokens, liquidity is dying. The projects that have community are the ones that are going to win. And when they enter into our chat, what do they see? Pure happiness, just like one thought, maybe even if it's a thought. Like, this is ridiculous. We have all the variables to win, and you guys are part of it. And on our end, we just have to be better. Now we have better technology. We're scaling the tech team. Next week, 3 new employees come in. Marketing, we're accelerating sales. Next year, next week, one tech, one sales, one marketing. And what does that tell you? We're ready to scale. Then in 2 weeks or three, two more tech. And that way we're gonna grow and grow because now we have a position. And to make a position, you got to go twice as hard. And that's it. There's no more. I don't care about my competitors anymore in a good way. I wish them all the best, but I know Brickken is gonna go full in into the market, capture the market, and become the best tokenization platform. I know for a fact right now we're the fastest growing one. And know for a fact based on the clients that come to us and tell us, hey, what's up? I've seen a lot of tokenization platform, but you have the best user experience. They're gonna be mind blown what is coming because we've been building. Like everybody's been shaking and building or not building or unsecure or changing narratives. And all we have been laser focused on one thing. We want to do this, and we're gonna do it like this. The rest is just history. So I'm gonna go to the end. Just wanted to be super long and transparent because now there's zero doubts here. Like seriously, you have my full commitment as you have always had, and I believe I speak for the rest of my team that you have their commitment that we're gonna go twice as hard, twice as fast. We're ready. We're excited. We're excited, guys. In 2021, we were fearful. This was an unknown department. Crypto is super hard. It's a lot of things. Literally like someday I'm gonna write a book and then you will understand a lot of the madness that is behind. But we're not fearful anymore. We're excited. We can own the game of RWA. We know how, we know with who, we know what the plays need to be. And I have zero doubt that 2025 is going to be our best year. Now, there's no more events that can misdirect us. Yes, the whole markets, but we cannot fight the whole markets. We can play with the markets, but at least the uncertainty of the launch is done. We're done with that. So now I'm gonna just go quickly through some of the questions. Uh, one second, because I have a list here. All right. So 10 minutes of questions and we're good to go. And then you maybe can wanna write another one. And again, sorry for the long conversation. I get inspired because I'm excited. So I was wondering if there are any plans for a BKA charity element where holders could donate, for example, some of their. Okay, so yes, I'm actually working with one of my co-founders in a charity event. It's coincidence, this one. When I read it, I was like, okay. Yeah, we want to test a little bit of goodwill. There's a project out there in the United States that we want to secure. We don't make an income, but we want to see if tokenization of donations can streamline some certain things, such as money coming from abroad, like how would that work, more transparency on spending and whatnot. So yes, it's something that needs to happen in 2025 because it's a vertical, and I think that's gonna give us a lot of know-how. It's different from a financial instrument, but it's still capitalization, so it's a goodwill capitalization. We want to see how the investors react and how the environment itself reacts. So we're definitely gonna test it. So yes, if you say, are there plans for a BKN charity element? Absolutely. So I don't know if it's going to be BKN deposit because that could create a selling pressure in the sense that if you deposit to the donate to the charity in BKN, they have to sell in order to fulfill their journey of charity. So I think it's going to be a stable through our technology where the BKN is going to be involved, same way as always. And yeah, of course, tokenization for good. Why not? I think it's a must. Second, how does Brickken participation in the European blockchain sandbox contribute to the advancement of tokenization? Yeah, beautiful. This is a hard win from our legal department, especially from our general counsel, because she puts us in, and she sat down with a bunch of regulators and law firms and banks. It was crazy. Like the meetings were like 3 hours long with a bunch of different people from different of the world, of Europe. Sorry, not the world, Europe. And basically, what is the outcome? uh, there's going to be a, a guide or a doctrine, it's called, that is going to come out from there because we were able to change the perception on what truly tokenization is and how it works, right? So cannot disclose much because I'm still on the 98, but trust me that Bricken did an excellent work. And when that document gets shoot in the market, you will understand just how powerful it is because obviously we went in to change and the thought of what tokenization truly is. We went in and we showed them what truly tokenization is, can be, and how it works and how it interacts. And basically, we just help our whole company through that. And through that little book in Europe, we can go to other countries or we can go wherever we want because now our vision as to how we're developing our work just got validated by the European Union. And that's massive. Like just that opportunity, it's game changing. It was a lot of investment from a lot of very hard conversations where they try to push us down, saying certain things as to how we were performing our role as tokenizing or what can be done and what not. But the outcome is that if we're gonna go again, I will double down. Uh, Funny story, I said we were in the Spanish sandbox. It was a very, I don't care, bad experience. They weren't up to the challenge of understanding what we wanted to do. And it was more like, yeah, you here. We were really kind of like, hey, let's build, let's share know-how. Like you're not the enemy. I'm not the enemy. This is technology. The markets are gonna change. Why don't we share? The experience was really bad, actually. So when they went to the European Union, I thought it was gonna be the same experience. So I was a little bit against it because it's very time consuming. You have to provide so much information, details, guides, and it was picked by a young consul. She wanted to do it. She did it. And I made a mistake by not believing before because this is going to radically change the perception of Brickken at all terms. Literally, we changed the rules of the game on various things, and that's going to be published soon. So that's going to also just validate that not only do we have the best tech, and then when I say that we have the best know-how, it's just we literally change the perception of regulations on regulators around what and how tokenization truly happens. That's it. Three, my fear is that the longer you wait to add exchanges, the more likely token holders will dump on the first right after listing. Yeah, that can happen at the third listing, that can happen at the fourth, that can happen at the fifth, that can happen at the first, that can, if they're gonna dump, and this is what I'm saying about the exit liquidity. It is true. No matter what listing you do, there's gonna be an exit position from somebody. All right. The important thing is how you build that position and how you can time it. Very happy again, though. We're going to double down that we didn't list and burn our bullets on December. We were this close. The pressure of saying something, but we truly knew that we didn't have to, especially with the February. it would have been suicide. And that suicide, we're talking about the cost of 500,000. Like listings are super expensive, especially when you go on bulk. Like right now, they just charge like, yeah, 1 million. The problem is that projects have been paying that because they raise money to list. And once they list and doesn't perform, they die. But the exchanges don't care. They're like, okay, you pay, good, next, 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 next. They're sending just like soldiers to the death because they're like, oh yeah, half a million. I like, dude, you know what's a half a million? Half a million for me is like I'm gonna say like it's not true, but it's like let's say 6 months of payment of the company, sustaining with marketing and everything. So you gamble everything at one single shot. Problem is the game is rigged, and there's a lot of variables out there that we have to be super careful. Knowing that, we're just being very cautious as to when, because if we're gonna commit that amount of money and resources and potentially offset certain things on the long term, we have to be 100% sure. Like there's nothing in this world that can change my life that if this company is not 100% certain to do a listing, we will not. And think about it, maybe we're not wrong because yesterday we pumped. So there's a lot of truth in what we're saying. Listing, when necessary, it's a bump. If you do it wrong and you go dry, you could die. That's it. No more. Now, next, what is the next project? Yeah, what? Number question five is what is the next project? Clients? We have so many good ones. I'm very excited about one, which I'm working with BNB Chain. It's part of the BNB Chain ecosystem. We're about you. I think we're gonna sign soon, and it's gonna be a massive one. I'm gonna be heavily involved in the sense that not involved as a party that there, but just seeing it, just because of the magnitude, the vertical, and everything, and because BNB Chain is actually jumping in on that one. And I think that one is very excited. We have still a lot of great clients. We just shoot the one in Argentina, real estate. We just saw the South Mine in Chile. There's a couple of other ones that are launching soon, and basically everything is a great project. It's just that I think now that tokenization as a word or as a vertical, let's say, is becoming more healthy. There's a lot of great projects out there looking into tokenizing debt or equity, and us we have the greatest technology out there. We do. So for us, whenever they come, I like to listen to a lot of the business plans to see understand who wants to tokenize. So the range is from I don't know hard assets as real estate to commodities as gold, silver, jewels, why not, to IP rights. We have one project out there that wants to tokenize their IPs, so that's amazing. So the opportunities and it are endless. I mean, and then in the end, capital markets is the one that rule the world. Everything runs on the financial instrument. All companies run on equity. All banks shoot loans. Everything can be tokenized. So for us, bring it on. Come on, keep saying that word RWA tokenization. Let's make it trending. That's gonna just boost our conversion rate and get more clients. So what is the next project? I don't know, like which one? Now, six. Since the beginning, you choose the balls and staking, so the token will not fall off the cliff. Correct? It's an incentive for holding. So far, you have succeeded brilliantly on this, but to an investor, it appears that staking is now the backbone for the token. Yeah, perception. I know you will have a business plan for the platform, but what's next for the token to keep performing like we do it? Clients using the BKN, incentivizing many things through the BKN. Staking, is it a mechanism for holding? Yes, of course. But 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 what's wrong with that? But how are you gonna attract new investors into the token? We have been attracting new investors. I'm gonna request that we see how much is the growth because we run this company on objective key results per quarter, and every objective key result every quarter we uptick that we have to pursue new holders, and I think we already crushed it. I think we wanted to do 15-20% more of the holding positions that we already had. We already crushed the KPI, and I just wanted to say we are data driven, so we are actively engaging and obtaining new holders, and that is actively being performed. And how to get new holders? Well, now, like I said, free market, even market. We're gonna double down. We're gonna spend more on marketing, yes, of course. We hired two new people now for the marketing department. One already entered, and the new person enters next week. And that just showcases what we're gonna do. And we also have a bunch of outsourcing for certain things that we want to learn, obtain the know-how, and then internally start executing. We are actually right now spending, according to our budget, we never overspend, but we are spending a lot of money just to make sure that we prepare for whatever. And basically, that whatever is, we need more clients and the BKN to be on top. It's a parallel company. We are a hybrid company. So, as much as it's important for us to generate new clients, it's as much as it's important for us to generate new holders. And that's it, and volume and whatnot. So, without a doubt, there's going to be a big change that you're going to be seeing because we're going to be more active in many things that we were always active, not saying that, oh, now we become active. Now we're going to be more transparent because the fear of the unlock is gone. Now, did seventh question? Did the team buy or arrange for tokens to be purchased when the lock happened yesterday to counteract any of them? Yes, it was planned. It didn't execute. We didn't reach it. But yes, of course. Actually, it was part of our fund. Now can be transparent about that. We decided to do here and then do some things out there, but the market dictates ourselves. We like to stay outside of the market, not to, because then if you do something, it can be cause of manipulation, and that can be fake, and the market can suffer. So we like to be that the market dictates itself, right? As a free market, I do believe like the Web2 approach of stocks. There might be some certain manipulation, of course. I mean, it's markets. There's nothing like it's free and transparent and such. But as long as we can, we're gonna stay out of it, and the market dictate itself the terms of it. We just have to make sure that we do our best job, and for it to the market to be controlled. Right now, we have a very healthy market. We have above. We've been trending for a long time, not trending. We've been targeting to always have above 1 2 million. Sometimes we do fail. We have a million of volume, but it is because of that volume that even if the on-staking would have come, it would have been swallowed by the volume itself because we do have a lot of community slowly taking. If you see the graphs in December, we did have somebody entering into our market. It was a discuss in the community who was slowly taking all positions and then he disappeared. And I think he's doing a great business with us because there was a lot of selling and he was there and I'm out, jumping in, swallowing the sell, I'm out, and I don't know who's that, but I would like to know how. What I'm saying all of this is that market are dictated by its own terms. We're just a player. We just own the pair USDT to BKN, but market are ran by itself, and I like that. I love free markets. All right. And then now I don't think I have any more questions. Let me see if somebody from my team sent me something. And oh wait, I do have 1 second. I do have a member of who sent me a private message now. 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Now, gonna answer these last three. Because now it's been run to an hour and 10 minutes, and it's a long AMA. Now that all the logs have finished, what are the BK plans to take over the RWA market? Hmm. We're gonna double down on marketing. We're gonna get more exposure, jump in more KOLs, amplify our ambassador program. I mean, those are the simple things to say. Yes, looking into listing, secure more partnerships on tier one. We already have the position that wherever we knock, they open the door. So that's amazing because now the answer is it. We have the partnership with the chain, one secure, and then we have a couple more that are in the pipeline. And based on that, maybe we can just duplicate the business model to get more amplification of our tokenization platform, but also more eyes on the BKN, so everything is mixed. Like we said, we are a hybrid company. So to take over the RWA market, like I said, we just have to do whatever we did in 2024, but now with money, community, team, know-how, absolutely everything, just better, faster, strong, like Daft Punk song, right? All right. Now, second question of him is, can you elaborate on your plans to expand into the USA? Any strategies in mind? Yes. I don't want to disclose too much because it's still into thinking phase, but yeah, the Trump administration, regardless of the politics, I'm not there for that. I'm just for the business. If the regulation happens and securities become more easy to be enacted to issue, then by all means, United States does become super attractive for us. In the end, the biggest capital market in the world or financial instruments are run in USA. So with us not being there, we may lose opportunities. Now, is it the only choice? No, there's other two choices. Not gonna disclose because that can incentivize some things that we're not decided yet. But I can already say that maybe 80% for sure, which is quite high. Uh, Brickken, Brickken in Spain makes no sense. So we have to go where we can thrive. And sometimes when you want to go and where you're gonna thrive, you have to take the decision that to say goodbye, pack your bags, and go and do what you have to do. So that's something that is happening this year. Most likely, like I said, 80, 85. I'm growing more certain about it. And basically, it's because if we want Britain to play in the major leagues, it's not in Spain. Now, the next one. When it comes to the new blockchain, what made brought Britain to launch on that chain? Yeah, so how we work with the blockchain is I don't deploy just because we don't deploy just because we deploy. And they say, oh yeah, new chain. Like yeah, so what? Actually, it's we need to gather leads from them and bring them to the chain. And basically, what we do is we need clients, and if they fulfill certain requirements for us, then we deploy. Because this is the beauty of it. We are being requested by a lot of chains to start deploying, and we have even rejected grants. Like, no, no, why would I deploy? Like, yeah, money, but money is good. I'm not rejecting money. Money should always be accepted if given for free. What the free is, you have to deploy, you have to get all the clients, you have to do all of this. So we have switched the door and they're like, you want our tech in your chain to bring you clients, to generate TBL, to generate transactions, to generate wallets. And we are one of the leading players in RWA. What are you gonna give me? That is not your token. That is not a grant. Are you gonna give me clients? Are you gonna give me exposure? Can we close some deals together? So that's the game that we're playing now. Chains, they made a mistake. They over duplicated themselves and they forgot one thing, the application layer. The application in blockchain has been truly disrespected for so many years because everybody cares about infrastructure. Go to any bank, go to any Web2 and say, like, oh, I have the best chain. And they'll be like, the best what, sorry? They don't even know what's Ethereum. Like, and then you want to say, yeah, my blockchain has this TPS power and transaction and all of that. And they're like, yeah, I don't care. Like, what do you do? And now they're trying to understand, or some are acknowledging that the application layer is how you bring all the millions and millions of euros that are opt out of the chain. So a lot of applications hopefully are gonna get now into the trending method, and because you can have all this infrastructure and be ghost. Like you have all these chains coming out, like every day new chain, and now every day new stable coins, and it's like, yeah, so who are you going to be playing with? Because you have all these chains and all these tables and all of these crazy and madness, and what? You need the application. So we are now the chain's best friends for bringing real world assets into their chain. And that is a complete statement that I'm making. Why? Because we're getting harassed by chains. Like wherever we go, new chain is like, oh, Brickken, hey, so RWA, do you want to deploy? And it's like, why would I deploy? Like, what do I earn from me bringing my technology, my potential clients, my know-how into your chain? And then some chains is like, yeah, because we have all of these grants, and it's like, yeah, but you don't have volume, you don't have all of this. So for us, it's waste of it is what it is. All right. So um, I think that's it. So, oh yeah, and then on Telegram, you see it from Thomas Stefan. Do they consider to leave Spain? Yes, we do consider to leave Spain. Then absolute yes. All right. So I don't think I can be more transparent with all of you. Let's see, my market team don't tell me, oh, you did it again, you went off the rails. And it's like, yeah, I went off the rails because I'm excited, guys. I'm super thankful to all of you who has holding our BKN, to the new holder, to the past holders, to whoever holding our BKN. Do hope that you stay with us for a long term because the exciting times are about to come. And as soon as the alt season comes, if it comes, then let's all just enjoy and have a great time. Because again, I think Brickken right now is cannot I could not dream of a better position for Brickken and where we are. And obviously that's thanks to everybody. So big shout out to the whole Brickken team who's working behind doors, making sure legality works, financial works, people get together, interviews, tech, they everything works, customer onboarding clients, sales, selling, marketing, make sure like there's right now 30 unsung heroes who absolutely make this work. And then obviously to our investor, institutional, who decided to take a leap of faith in making sure that we are very well positioned to become the best player out there in tokenization platform. And without a doubt, to all the community, because you've been with us for 4 years, that's a long time. So the least I can do, and I will always continue doing so, is every single time that I have some free minutes, I jump in, say hi, I joke with you. And I will really want to play poker on Sunday with all of you because last time I didn't know I had to buy or get new chips, so I couldn't do a rebuy. And I got played. So I'm getting ready to have a lot of fun this Sunday with all of you. And like I said, thank you very much to everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure these 4 years and for 4 years more.